among the dumbest people over at MSNBC, she appears to have been the dumbest and the worst rated. We just pulled the ratings from Thursday night. On Thursday night, this is in the 25 to 54 demo. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Like, truly.
Megyn Kelly and Victor Davis Hanson absolutely lay into Joy Reid over her canceled show, and honestly, it's long overdue. The fact that MSNBC even tolerated Joy Reid's blatant racism and unhinged rhetoric for this long is beyond me. But hey, better late than never, right? So let's jump in right away where Megyn Kelly and Victor Davis Hanson destroy Joy Reid.
Let's talk about Joy Reid. I'm so torn. Oh, Victor, I'm so torn. You know, I'm thrilled she's gone. She literally was the most racist person on television. Her and her most favorite guest, Ellie Mistal. So they deserve 100% both to be fired. But, you know, it's like we won't have her to kick around anymore. And there's a little sadness in that. This is one of the many reasons why most of us are absolutely delighted to see her get fired from this show. And it appears from MSNBC. Tonight, we believe, will be her last night. A little walk down memory lane in SOT 1.
But in America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears.
Whoa, hold up. So let me get this straight. Joy Reid can go on national television and spew this kind of garbage, but if anyone dared to say the exact same thing about any other racial group, they'd be canceled before the segment even ended. Megyn Kelly is 100% right to call this out. The double standard is so obvious, it's almost laughable.
Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like, Green Waterworks.
Ron DeSantis has been waging a full-scale war against the black past. It's illegal to make white people feel uncomfortable in Florida.
You also have the restrictions in schools over what can be taught about race and gender for fear white children might feel bad when they find out that not all white people in history were heroes.
Do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence?
These Republicans are dangerous. They're dangerous to our national security because stoking that kind of soft white nationalism eventually leads to the hardcore. From the Tea Party on, they're voting on race. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want, a black person got it, therefore drive all the blacks out of the colleges. They're just voting specifically on racial animus. At this stage, it isn't about economics.
They want to turn every state into their white Christian nationalist hell. It's DEFCON 1, y'all. Take action and stay woke.
So we'll miss her a little, I guess. Victor, what do you make of the fact that even MSNBC finally had enough?
Yeah, I mean, if you had just substituted the word black for white and any other person had said what she did and just said black instead of white, they would have been fired in 24 hours. She knew that, too.
Exactly. Victor Davis Hanson nailed it here. Joy Reid knew she was playing with fire, but she banked on her MSNBC immunity. And let's not forget how she tried to lie her way out of her past homophobic remarks. First claiming she was hacked, then not hacked, then kind of hacked. Like, come on, even a 5-year-old could come up with a better excuse. Megyn Kelly has been calling out this hypocrisy for years, and this just proves her right once again.
So I remember, though, you remember Megyn when she first got on, she had this whole paper trail of being a homophobe. Do you remember that? And then
Yes.
she said, I'm going to get the FBI to investigate because I was hacked. And then she completely lied on the air. She was never hacked. And then she said she may not have been hacked, but she couldn't. Then she said she was almost as if she was in a suspended state of animation. I may have written this, but I don't remember ever saying this. And it was so
Doesn't
pathetic.
sound like
and she
me.
would have been, yeah, she should have been fired for that. And then she had a big rant once, I remember, where she was mad that so-called white women had cornrows, and this was cultural appropriation, and she was going to wear authentic black hairstyles. And then all of a sudden she started wearing blonde. She dyed her hair blonde and straightened.
She looked like Trump.
Wow. Yeah, and I thought, wow, you're culturally why do you want to look like an Anglo-Saxon after you gave a lecture
Right.
that nobody
Why
should
can't I
culturally...
wear the cornrows or have my daughter get cornrows in the Bahamas on a trip? But she can take my hair. She can try to imitate my
Yes.
hair. No problem whatsoever.
So all I'm saying is that she was a sad person. She had a horrible, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze her, but she was terribly insecure. And it came out, it just exuded from her, insecurity, insecurity, insecurity. And she was thrashing around. And it was really the problem of the management to put her out there. They should have yanked her from the very beginning.
Joy Reid was a train wreck from day one, and yet MSNBC kept her on because she pushed their preferred narrative, no matter how toxic it was. And Ely Mistel, yeah, that guy was just as bad, openly racist, completely unhinged, and still getting airtime. But Megyn Kelly, oh, she's the problem, according to these people. The hypocrisy is unreal.
And that Elie Mystal, he was an outright racist. I remember he said right after COVID, I got used to not seeing white people anymore, and it was a good feeling. And he just said things that were, I mean, they were horribly racist, and they kept spouting that filth, and it was horrible. And nobody ever said anything. And then finally, her ratings had stayed. I don't think they were ever great, but the only reason they took them off is that people got sick of her after the election. Or they would have kept her on. They were never bothered by what she said. They were just trying to adjudicate whether it was good enough to justify the advertisers. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So they replaced her with three other hosts, two of whom are black, one of whom is Hispanic, and I guess they think that will save them. We'll see. They fired everybody. Her entire staff has been laid off, which apparently they found out about the cancellation from the trade mags or from the internet, same as the rest of us. Classic NBC move. They're such a classy group over there. But it is true that among the dumbest people over at MSNBC, she appears to have been the dumbest and the worst rated. We just pulled the ratings from Thursday night. On Thursday night, this is in the 25 to 54 demo. I mean, this is just unbelievable, like truly.
So, I mean, yeah, Megyn Kelly and Victor Davis Hanson didn't just criticize Joy Reid, they obliterated her, and rightfully so. The fact that MSNBC finally pulled the plug on her show just proves that even they couldn't ignore her toxicity forever. But let's be real, they didn't do it because they suddenly grew a conscience. They did it because people were sick of her, and the ratings tanked. In the end, Megyn Kelly was right. Victor Davis Hanson was right. And Joy Reid, well, she's out of a job. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving person.